President Trump got down to his first full day of business in the White House on Monday, and one of the first things he did was sign an executive order that basically pulled the U.S. out of the Trans-Pacific Partnership. That's the big 12-nation trade deal that the Obama administration had spent years negotiating and that it considered to be the centerpiece of its Asian economic policy. That move was predictable. Candidate Trump had said repeatedly he thought the TPP was a bad deal for American workers, but what happens next is impossible to predict. The reaction to the move by President Trump was interesting. It was split in the opposite direction of the way things usually go in partisan terms. Republicans like John McCain said this was a bad idea. They thought the move will only open the door for China to play a bigger role in the Asian economic sphere. Democrat Bernie Sanders on the liberal side of the spectrum praised it, agrees with President Trump. This was a bad deal for workers. Everybody had agreed already, though, that the TPP was essentially dead in Congress. It didn't have a political path forward. What's less clear is what happens now. Sean Spicer, the White House press secretary, said that the administration thinks these big multilateral trade deals, such as TPP, are not good for America, and that bilateral agreements, country to country, one-on-one, that's the way to go. So the question is, are there going to be a whole series of bilateral trade agreements in Asia now that try to do the same thing TPP tried to do, or is that really not going to be possible when China is trying to knit together an alternative economic sphere in the region? Similarly, what's the future of the North American Free Trade Agreement, the other big multinational agreement that candidate Trump criticized? On that one, the White House didn't do anything on its first day, and the administration seems to be moving toward conversations with at least Canada to renegotiate NAFTA. So is NAFTA dead, or is it simply in evolution? I think we'll find out more in the next few days, certainly in the next couple of weeks. Meantime, the one thing we know for sure is that U.S. trade policy has entered a new era.